Nice Saturday afternoon to go ahead and spend some money you know you really don't have, but you do it anyway for the sake of art. How's it going, old schoolers? You are kicking it old school. I'm your host, Russell J.S. No, I did not get a haircut. It's pulled up in a ponytail. I had just got out of the shower and just got dressed. I was over at GameStop browsing around this week, and I came across something. Do you remember when I did the video, the return of the Russell J.S. and Tiger handhelds, and I showed you the Transformers Generation 2 and the Uncanny X-Men one? Well, I came across three more that I was over at the GameStop and I was just browsing around. And, to my surprise, look at what I got here. Hasbro has unleashed. I don't know, the guy told me in GameStop that, Hasbro is only allowing certain things, like what they own as far as toy making, like the Power Rangers and Jurassic Park and, Spider-Man and X-Men and Transformers, of course, naturally. I mean, yeah. But, I was excited. I found these. They're $15.99 a piece at GameStop. If you have a GameStop anywhere near you, I suggest you go check it out. I mean, I don't know if a lot of you remember these, back in the day and, during the 80s when video games became all the rage. They had like the Game & Watch series from Nintendo and, even some other companies like Remco and Tomy were making their own little handheld watch and game series, and Coleco had the big, arcade games that stood about a foot tall and needed C batteries to plug them in. Well, in the late 1980s, Tiger Electronics came up with this concept for, handheld games. And what had happened was, they hit a gold mine. I mean, I remember these things when I was a kid. When I was in fourth grade, these things became big. I mean, Tiger had their own games like electronic pinball, electronic baseball and football and, basketball. And, of course, games like Sub Wars, which I had. But when it came to popular video games that were on like the NES or on the Sega Master System, they were grabbing at those as well. And, porting them to these little handheld devices right here. And I got to tell you, they were great. They were really great, up until the Game Boy came around, which I still had these, even though I had the Game Boy. But what happened was, these were great for on the go. Like every summer, me and my family, we went to Disney World, and they were great for me in the back seat. I could play a game, keep myself occupied, until we got to our destination, or if I flew on a plane, I wouldn't bother anybody. I would be playing a game. But I also do remember if the teacher caught you with these, she would confiscate them and keep them in her desk drawer and say that she's going to keep them until the last day of school, which never happened because our parents would go ahead and call the school and call the teacher and say, hey, if Russell doesn't bring them to class anymore, would you let him have it back? And the teacher would agree to it, and the teacher would tell me never to bring it again, which I never did. But, it's like, you would think, like for recess time, these things would be perfect. Like we could swap each other's games during recess and during lunch. But they didn't allow it. Even at recess, they looked at it as a distraction. I mean, they were taking, cassette Walkman headsets away from us. They were doing that kind of stuff too. But here I got three of them. I got Spider-Man, I got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I got Jurassic Park. And the thing about these, like what you just see right here, Jurassic Park, Power Rangers, and Spider-Man, Tiger was also doing like what Nintendo was doing and what Atari was doing when they made cartridge games, trying to get movie licenses, cartoon show licenses, TV show licenses, comic book licenses, things like that, and port them to these games. They weren't the best thing on earth, I mean, you could see like how they got the background setting on the screen, and you would see. I mean, I can remember when these things came out back in the late '80s. We had, instead of something like this, we had the plastic blister packs. It was a pain in the neck to get to, so your mom had to use the scissors to cut them open. And they didn't, unlike the Game and Watch series, these you had to buy batteries separate, so batteries not included, as they say. But, it's like, yeah, they had all kinds of games. I mean, they came out with, Sega games like Gauntlet, Sonic the Hedgehog, Carnove, which I believe was on Nintendo, and Simon's Quest, which was definitely on Nintendo. I mean, they were porting these, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, you name it. I mean, sometimes, like the movie-based video games like this Jurassic Park game, they didn't base it on any video game they made based off Jurassic Park. And the same thing like when the Batman movie came out in 1989, that Batman game wasn't based off the Nintendo Batman or any other version of Batman that was ported to a cartridge. But without further ado, I'm going to open these bad Oscars up, put batteries in them, and see how they hold up. So without further ado, let's check these bad Oscars out, shall we? All right, I'm back. I got these things out of the packaged and batteried. Look at that, huh? One thing I remember was the battery lid was easy to slide off. Now they do this thing where if the battery dies, you have to unscrew it to get to the batteries, and then screw it back on. But yeah, look at these units. I mean, it's just like the way I remembered when I was a kid. It's like, I mean, wow. This really does take me back. I think I want to take a trip to Disney World where I'm riding in the back seat of a 1990 Plymouth Voyager minivan that's only, 6 months old. That was purchased brand new by my mom and dad, But, I was going to go ahead and see how these things hold up. I'm going to do one of them. I'm going to try and play one of them. And I'm going to be since I'll be holding the phone, I'll be in the camera, I'll be doing it with one hand. And that way, I could see what this, I could see this. Hold on. Let's see. Well, it's hard to play these, with one hand, but as you could see by the graphics, it was kind of like a glorified calculator in a sense by the graphics. But they were a good source of entertainment when you're on a long trip, so you're not bored, especially for kids. And, it's like, I don't know. I know my daughter, she loves the Little Mermaid and the Sonic ones that I got her. So that's pretty cool. I mean, but these, this is all we had back in the day, back in the late 80s and early 90s. And then the Game Boy came out and revolutionized portable handheld video gaming. But, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not supposed to you look at the packaging on these things, and you have twisties on the back too as well. And as you can see, they got instruction manuals on how to play. You haven't seen me do this in a long time. They got instructions and they show you the back, But, also I wanted to talk to you about, about what's been going on. As you know, I was kicked out of my daughter's life, 2 months ago when I went to go visit her. And recently, when my father, I also want to bring up, remember I told you about my father, they found a couple tumors in his stomach. He was diagnosed last Monday on his birthday with lymphoma. So he's starting chemotherapy on, this coming Monday. And, a lot of prayers for him. And what had happened was my daughter just happened to call us out of the blue to wish my dad a happy birthday. But we knew what was going on, that, because my mother put it up on her Facebook that, you know, pray for my husband, that sort of thing, like what wives do. And less than 40 minutes later, they get a phone call from my daughter, and we were able to tell that her mom was listening in, because I know what she was trying to do. She's trying to get us to talk smack about her, and we're not going to talk smack about her. If anything, that was a blessing in disguise for me. That was a blessing. I know my daughter probably didn't, get the video when I talked about it, but, things are happening. Who knows? I might have my daughter in my life. But, I also wanted to go ahead and show you. These are, $15 and change. Some are $14 and change over at Target. I mean, not Target, but GameStop. So, look around GameStop, pick one up. I mean, I can remember they were great for birthday parties. When a friend invited you to his birthday party, and you had to find something to get them, and boom, there you go, right there, a Tiger handheld or a wrist game, And they were awesome stocking stuffers too at Christmas. I mean, I was excited after I opened up all of my presents at Christmas time, and after a while, just go ahead, play a Tiger handheld. But also, what I just went ahead and told you about what's going on with my daughter and with my dad. I just wanted to give you an update, because I'll tell you, sometimes it is hard. It really is hard being a person in my position, having a YouTube channel, because I know I gotta put more content out there if I'm to build a following. But but sometimes it's hard, when you work a full-time job, and you're worried about your kid, and now my father, you're juggling a lot of things. But things are going to come to a head. I'm sure her mother's going to say, you know what? Maybe I was wrong, and this isn't right, because I'm actually pulling my daughter away from her bloodline. And you know what? It isn't right. And I do hope and pray that maybe her mother will see it in her heart, like, hey, I was wrong. I mean, from here on out, whatever happens, happens. That's all I have to say. It is what it is. And like I said, yeah, I know I keep on saying this, but I am going to come up with new material, with new videos, and, lots going on. Anyway, I wanted to show you these new Tiger reproduction handhelds that I just bought at GameStop. Like I said, they're at GameStop for some $14.95, some $15.95. And, I'm sure they're at other places too. And also, I wanted to go ahead, remember, if you're new to this channel, please hit a like, hit a subscribe, leave a comment down below. I definitely, even for all of you that are subscribers, I definitely want you to leave your comments. Give me feedback, what I'm doing good, what I'm not doing good, where I'm right, where I'm wrong. I want to hear your feedback. Make sure it's positive. And, if you're new to the channel, again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and also hit the notification bell as well. And also, you can find me on Facebook. I do have a Facebook page. It's called Russell J.S.'s Old School Nerd Life. Go ahead and click on that. Be part of that group. And I'm trying to build up. I'm also going to build up an Instagram. I'm going to build up my new Instagram. I already got something going on where I call it Russell J.S. 78. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and maybe, I'll go ahead and start maybe putting some pictures on there as well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close off this video. And, this is your old pal, Russell J.S., wanting to wish you Godspeed. And may the Force be with you always. Bye.